Morning, friends. It's Friday morning. I should be sitting in rush hour traffic driving to Georgia, but I decided to go for a walk and get a little throw ball practice in while I wait for traffic to settle down. Oh, and laundry's in the dryer too, so just doing it all this morning, folks. So this year, quit my full-time tree surgery job, and I gotta keep my practice. I gotta keep my skills sharp. So I'm practicing my throw ball here in the neighborhood, the tallest pine tree in my neighborhood. If you can set a line in a tall pine, set a line in anything. I'm keeping my practice up because you stop throwing for a week or two, you can lose your skills. Plus I got Kentucky in October coming up. Been going to Kentucky tree climbing competition for 4 years now. And I feel like this might be a good year. I got a little time to train instead of just do bucket removals 30 hours a week. Might be a good year for me. Low again. Tough when the rope gets slippery. Slip knot, see if that makes it less slippery. I'm gonna grab the top with my thumb, pull it, and then go over like that. I like a long pendulum swing. Oh yeah. Good morning, people. It's a rainy morning. I'm headed out to do some work for tree hab. We are doing some lifting on a crabapple tree in the front yard. And then we're gonna do some stopgap pruning just to clear the driveway until we can get this removal scheduled for these Leland cypresses. They're just the usual Leland cypress problems. People are told they're small, and then 10 years after we plant them, they are not small anymore. So yeah, just trying to get this done little by little. And so yeah, tree hab is off and running. So if you got any needs for your small tree care projects that are too small for the big companies, give us a call, 844-2PRUNE4U. I quit working for my employer who trained me for 3 years. And now it's time to face my own human vices and my own human nature. And it's a little bit wet this morning and I found myself stalling a little bit. So yeah, it's real. The challenges of running your own business are your own challenges. Howdy folks, I just finished lifting up this crabapple tree. And I'm not going to stop there because I feel like I'm here and this tree deserves to be taken care of while I'm here. So I'm going to take another 20 or 30 minutes in this tree and fix a lot of the kind of structural future problems coming. So I'll flip you around. So I got a lot of water sprouts here, which are just kind of ugly, and they'll crowd the tree and not help airflow through. Keep good ventilation is important. I've got a rubbing branch up there, which has no business being there. I could pole saw it, but the pole saw has taught me how to become a very good climber because I've already done enough pole sawing today. And there's just enough water sprouts all along here that it would just be easier to hop around with a handsaw and grab them and then get that one out and a few stubs while I'm up there. My clients thought this tree was either a Japanese maple or a cherry, and my pocket, phone identifier told me it was a Siberian crabapple. If you know what this tree is, please comment below. I'd love to know. Hey folks, Evan here. More of that ARB Life. Got my chipper out in the job, and I saw this black stuff coming out of the exhaust onto the chute. And at the time it looked like oil, and the thing would run for about 5 minutes and shut off. Run for 5 minutes and shut off, and it got worse and worse and just wouldn't run anymore. So I thought the head gasket for sure was leaking oil into the engine, and that's how we're getting this soot on there. But now that I'm looking at it, it looks more like soot, like maybe it wasn't oil. How about that spark plug, eh? That could fix my whole problem, couldn't it? I wonder how I got to here. Maybe the carburetor was plugged up and spitting juice in there. Also, my float bowl is kind of about to send chunks to the carburetor. So it runs now. Got everything back to snuff. But when I shut it off, the gas is overflowing because the float, should not have that much gas in it. Kohler Command Pro fuel inlet valve was leaking. Flooded my whole carburetor, filled up my carburetor float with the gasoline. This is the old one, big and squishy. This is the new one, small and firm. Bigfoot 5K, here we come! Good morning, friends. It's Friday. I'm getting ready for the storm of 2025. I'm not sure what's going to happen. I'm probably going to be working 70 hours next week. The oil we use at work is, I think, B-rated oil. But the oil that the manufacturer of my saw requires to maintain the warranty is D-rated Jasso oil. So that's why I'm mixing up my own. I have a fine measurement for my oil. I can rinse out and it doesn't drip all over the place. And then I can just kind of fill it up to, what do I got, 2 liters? Oh, there it is. I can fill up to 2 liters. So I can just batch 1 liter, 1 to 2 liters at a time. Let's talk about bar oil. Bought a gallon of this at the Echo dealer. It's, quality bar oil. And then Buck and Billy Ray told me about this. And the data says that this is about 40% less friction than that. And I tried it in my trim saw, and I kind of had to retune my trim saw so that so the chain would stop spinning after a cut. So yeah, I bought a gallon of this, and I'm almost out of it within what, a month or two. There's my bar oil I take with me, and here's my Jasso D ethanol-free 93 octane fuel I bring with me to work. I can't really definitely say whether these quality petroleum products are better or not, but I've definitely seen what 2-month-old ethanol does to a 35cc chainsaw. And if you buy Class D oil with ethanol-free gas, this stuff claims to be have a shelf life of like 2 years or something. So this year, 2026, is a big year for me. I've started my own business, and I'm still working for my employer. Yeah, how to transition. I kind of been testing my little side business over the last year. I was doing pretty good this summer. I got some momentum, and then I had a back injury from a 40,000-pound steering wheel that didn't have power steering fluid. And so I'm gradually climbing out of that hole. I just feel like there's a little bit of dysfunctionality in the business model that we kind of accept as arborists in the United States. And I think other places in the world, like Europe, they have a lot of small owner-operators which can handle what I call proactive tree care. It's a few days after Christmas. I'm getting ready to go back to work soon. I ought to be fixing the rear bearings in my Jeep or stretching out my achy back. But I'm stalling and decided to show you some reality life of the arborist. Sparkling clean set of textiles. This is my employer supplied work gear. Got a boot dryer inside the locker. Hopefully let this dry a little quicker. And it's in the locker because I have cats. And I don't have to explain why cats are not a good mixture with life support textiles. And I'll show you how I clean these things here. Now, nobody advises putting warm water of any kind in your washing machine with your ropes, but this is our reality right here. I got textiles, got a lanyard, hitch cord, rope, etc. And I'm going to take this here Dove soap, Dawn soap, whatever, pour it in, pour on the power, right? And despite any recommendations, I know that soap and things dissolve a little better with warm water. I'm not going to do hot, I'm going to do warm. I'm going to do bigger than normal load. And I'm going to do extra clean over here. Go. So the locker wasn't drying my ropes fast enough, so I brought my heater, space heater in my bathroom, set up a drying rack in the tub, and hung it out. It seems to be drying a little bit faster now. Hey friends, Evan here with Neptune. I'm on Virginia Beach. I traveled here on a Tuesday night so I could take a certified climber certification through the International Society of Arboriculture a Wednesday morning, freezing temperatures. My employer wants nothing to do with this certification. There's other arborist certifications my employer will bend over backwards to support. Virginia Beach brings back memories from junior high, middle school. Came out here in the late 90s as a middle schooler playing a band instrument, school trip, or something like that. And I knew then something was wrong with me. I wasn't meant for the normal 9-to-5 productive lifestyle, because I was in a room with a bunch of middle school boys, and some of my friends who were females were in a room below me in this high-rise hotel. See those rusty old railings those guys are working on up there? Believe it or not, on a dare, I pulled a piece of paracord out of my bag, and I tied it to that railing, and I rappelled over that edge down to the balcony below, somewhere in this area. And I entered the girls' room, no one was there, and I messed up some things in the room to make them think they got broken into and mess with them a little bit. And I never heard a peep about it. No one ever said anything to me about that. But yeah, paracord from that railing. We gotta have better standards, people. You should do certified climber test with ISA. Don't get too comfortable. That's my moral of the story here. Don't get too comfortable. Comfort is killer. Your boss will change, your employment will change, and you need to be ready. If you want to stay climbing for a long time, invest in yourself, invest in your credentials, and let's all bring this up together, eh? Cheers.